Hello, I thought I'd make another casual, very casual vlog. In fact, I am just relaxing on this chair. I'm not sitting properly on the chair. I'm just relaxing on the chair. There are a few things I want to talk about in this vlog. The first thing I want to talk about, well, the first people I want to talk about are two separate people who are both Protestant and create vlogs for YouTube in which they go to different religions of the Catholic religion and go to their services, go to their churches, and interview the either the pastor, the priest, or I'm not even sure what else the names of the people are, but interview them and then talk about, well, they show all of that and then they talk about it on their vlogs and the reactions and all of that. So I find that very interesting. And I'm not going to name the two people. I wanted to just point out that there are two people doing that, and they cover the religions with so much respect. And I just really appreciate that because I want to know about different religions. In fact, one of the things I do remember about my schools was that I said I would very much like for the students who attend my schools to learn or to take world religion classes, just so they could learn at least the basic philosophy uh, behind all the different religions. So I just, and I think that, when well, I just think that is a good idea. And I think it's great that people are examining different religions and, there are many Christians right now, but I think it's great. I think it's very great. And so they they see all of this, they see all the different religions, and then they try to see it, objectively, and then they see it through the lens of their Protestant background and their religion. So it's very interesting. Very interesting. Anyway, so another thing I wanted to talk about are dreams. Okay, I barely ever remember my dreams. I remember a few that really stood out to me, or I just could hold them in my long-term memory. Some, but not all of them, And the details are a little bit fuzzy for each one of the dreams, but I remember them. And that's only a few. That's only a few. And usually, if I remember my dreams at all, I can only remember them for a few minutes and then they're gone. I don't hold them in my long-term memory, and not even that long in my short-term memory. They're gone. They're gone. They disappear. And I'm like, but what was I thinking about? What was I thinking? What was that dream? I don't know. So I forget. But the reason I'm mentioning dreams is because I have never, at least not that I can recall, because I forget my dreams, I have never dreamt about my father, my grandmother, or any of our dogs. And those are the main people and animals in our lives who have passed because we don't have a big family. We don't. We have a very small family, and we're here in Cleveland, so. So, I would like to dream about the dogs and my father and my grandmother. Well, actually, about my father the most, because he really was my BFF. at the end of his life. I mean, we reconnected. It was such a blessing to take care of him. It really became such a blessing because I had gone out on my own, and I had married someone, and then I was working full time and so busy all the time, and I just kind of, well, I still saw him a lot, but we weren't like best friends until, until Jesus slowed me down and I had to take care of him. And we just became the best of friends. Ah. And then I remembered how wonderful my father was. He was such a great dad. He really was. And I could go on for hours about it, but I'm not going to in this vlog. That's for a different vlog. And then I also like to dream about my grandmother, She was so cute. She was so cute. One thing I'll tell you about my grandmother is that when she first moved in with us in the 90s, she came to live with us in the 90s. I was still here. And this was before I finished college and moved out on my own. Well, she lived with us. Was it? No, wait a minute. I was here. Was it It was the 90s, yes. It was in the 90s when I lived here. My grandmother would, people would call me. This was before cell phones. So let me back up. This is before cell phones. For those of you who are very young and don't know life without a cell phone. But before cell phones, we just had landlines, and my grandmother insisted on answering the phone, although she didn't speak a word of English. Okay, so so we would tell her, don't answer the phone. And my friends would call, people would call, jobs would call, and they'd ask for me, and her standard answer to everyone who called for someone who wasn't home was, no está, click. She would just hang up the phone, no está, click. And, I would hear from people. I called and someone answered and they said, no está, and they hung up. So that was my grandmother. We said, abuelita, please, no, don't answer the phone. And she insisted. Even when I was home, she would insist on answering the phone. She was so cute. She was so cute. Always cooking, always crocheting. If she wasn't cooking, she was crocheting. And she made such beautiful things with her crochets. She made such beautiful crocheted things. So, very nice. But she loved to make crochet dresses and crochet doilies and crochet tablecloths, crocheted tablecloths and crocheted doilies and crocheted dresses. She loved that. Those were the main things she made. Those really were the main things she made with her when she crocheted. And she didn't really use the thick yarn. She used like the thready kind of yarn, like what I showed you in the yellow dress. So, and I have to make a disclaimer, okay? I said my grandmother made it, but I'm not sure. I have to take it back because my grandmother did crochet that well. She really did. She had that kind of skill to crochet something like that. However, my mother did buy crochet dresses in Mexico, so I don't know if it was really crocheted by my grandmother or by someone in Mexico. So I have to just mention that, just in case. Just in case. And I know it's months later and I'm mentioning it now. Okay. Sorry. So, and you know what? In fact, I will go back to that vlog if I can find it and type in a disclaimer. Okay. Now I know what I'll do. So, or make a little vlog and put it underneath there. So, okay. So anyway, yes, back to the dreams. You know, if I could dream about my grandmother being here, living with her again, and all the little things she did. All the little things she did that were so cute. You know, when she became ill because she had dementia, you know, and when she became ill, uh that's when she came to live here, but it took a while to progress. I mean, very long before it progressed. And I remember, you know, just taking her one time only. I took her a few times with me, you know, to get her out of the house, and you know, I took her to pick out a wedding dress for my friend. Wanted to pick out a wedding dress, and I brought my grandmother along. And then I took her to a coffee shop, and I took her, where else did I take her? I took her to a few places, you know? And when she was in, uh, this is what makes me sad, because she loved her makeup, and she loved her nail polish, and she loved her makeup. But when she went to a nursing home, and I I wanted to go visit her, and put cream on her hands and do her nails and file them and cut them and do them really nice and everything, and I never did. And I feel terrible about that, because that's something that I know she would have appreciated. I know she would have appreciated something like that. So, anyway, but back to the dreams. If I could dream about Fiona. What a sweet little dog. Fiona was so sweet. So very sweet. She was so precious. She was just so precious. And she never chewed. She never went through a chewing phase. And we had a big chair with a big pillow on the back. It was part of the chair, and she would climb up onto that chair and sit on the back of the pillow, sit on the back of the chair on the pillow, and that was her spot. That was her spot for a little while. For a little while. Oh, not we got rid of the chair, I think, and so she couldn't do it anymore. But she was so cute. She was so cute, and she followed Petey around, and they were together for so long, and Petey, uh, Petey and Fiona would found Petey and Fiona found a hole in the fence in the backyard, and I never closed it up, so I closed it up. I don't know if I closed it up or not, but they would get out anyway, and they'd go wandering. If they got out of the fence from the front, they would just wander around the neighborhood. And also, they would go through the fence in the backyard through the back, and I'd have to drive around the block looking for them, and I found them in the yard right behind us a few times, and I had to capture them. Petey would come to me, but Fiona, she would like to run away. So I had to grab her. She was so cute. She was just so cute. And Petey and Fiona, they were the dynamic duo, just like Diego and Frida were the dynamic duo. They were inseparable when they lived together. You know. So, and I would love to dream about them. I would love to have a dream with all the dogs all at once. Yeah, and just pet them and see their little personalities in my dream. I would, especially Diego, since he died the most recently. So I loved Diego. I love them all. They're so precious. Dogs are so precious, pets are, I should say. Pets are so precious. And because we've had dogs, I'm talking about dogs, but they're all precious. They're all very precious. So, if I could have at least one dream, if Jesus only allowed me one dream, which I'm not saying he's going to, because who knows? I mean, these are dreams. But if Jesus would allow me one dream, I would like a dream with everyone in it. My father, my grandmother, and all the dogs. My father, my grandmother, and all of the dogs. Just so that I could experience, even in my dreams, their personalities, of the personalities of my father and my grandmother, who were both characters, and all the dogs, who are all characters. I love them all so much. I love them all. My grandmother, my father, and all of the dogs. All right, well, on that note, I'm going to end this vlog now. And I'm going to say, I hope everybody watching has a great evening tonight and a great day tomorrow, and things go your way. All right, bye.